charging also.
Not charged?
No, this is not.
That's not charged. Anyways, you do the needful. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Radha Madhava Kunjabihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Gopitana Bharata
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari
Jaya Gopitana Bharata
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Jaya Jaya Radha Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada.
All the people Sri Srimad Divine Grace, Rabbi Sharananda Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Gandhi BP, Founder Acharya Divine Grace of Prabhupada, Namasarya Sri Haridas Thakur ki, Samavata Bhakti Vrinda ki, Harinam Sankirtan ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jani, like all the people. All glories to the Samadhi, all glories to the Samadhi, all glories to the Samadhi, all glories to Sri Guru, to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Lakshurandilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Prabhupistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swam Rupa Kadamaya Pradati Swapadam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Gita Padakamanam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Sri Rupam Sadhavatam Sahaganam Raghunathan Tam Sativam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parisara Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Palitam Vidisakam Vitam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandha Jagatpate Radha Kanamustute Daptakanchana Gaurangi Radhi Vrindavaneshwari
Vrishabhanusuti Devi Pranamami
Vanchakakadvijasya Kripa Sindhu Jaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naranchayva
Naranchaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye.
For reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Nara, Narayana Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Prayesha Bhadreshu
Nastvaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki.
By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed, attracted to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama
Idam Bhagavatam Nama
Puranam Brahmasamhitam
Puranam Brahma Samhitam
Uttama Charitam
Uttama Shloka Charitam
Chakara Bhagavan Rishi
Chakara Bhagavan Rishi
Shreyasayalokasya
Nishreyasya
Dhanyam Swastaya
Dhanyam Shwasayanam Maha.
Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God, which is compiled by the incarnation of God. There's Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Prabhu Nityananda,
Prabhu Nityananda,
Shri Advaita Gadadhar,
Shri Advaita Gadadhar,
Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda,
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare
Om
Hare.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Surabhyaya Namaha.
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 Vikam karoti vasanam tvam gayate. Yatripa tamaham bande Shri Gurunatharam. Yatripa tamaham bande Shri Gurunatharam. Srimad Bhagavatam. Welcome to a Bhagavatam class. Canto number 2, chapter 2, continuing a chapter entitled The Lord in the Heart, text number 4. Satyam,
Satyam
Shitao,
Shatau
Kim,
Kim
Kashipo,
Kashyapo
Prayasair,
Prayasair
Mahau,
Mahau
Prasiddhe,
Prasiddhe
Hi,
Hi
Babadhanai,
Bhavadhanai
Kim,
Kim
Sati,
Sati
Anjalau,
Anjalo
Kim,
Kim
Purudhana,
Purudhana
Patriya,
Patra
Dig,
Dig
Valkaladao,
Valkalado
Satim,
Sati
Kim,
Kim
Kulai,
Dukulai
Satyam Chitau Kim Kasipo Prayasair,
Satyam Kisho Kashipo Prayasair
Maho Svatsiddhe Yapabadhanai Kim,
Bahau Swasiddhe Hyapabarhanai Kim
Satyam Jalao Kim Purudhana Patriya,
Satyanjalo Kim Purudhanna Patra
Digval Kaladao Satim Kim Dukulai.
Digval Kalado Sati Kim Dukulai.
Actually, we have a long report. Well, fairly long report, so we'll go immediately to the word for word. Satyam,
Satyam
being in possession.
being in possession.
Chitao,
Shitau
earthly flats.
earthly flats.
Kim,
Kim
where is the necessity?
where is the necessity?
Kashipo,
Kashipo
of beds and cots.
of beds and cots.
Prayasai,
Prayasai
endeavoring for.
endeavoring for.
Bahau,
Baho
the
arms.
Prasiddhe,
Swasiddhe
being self-sufficient.
being self-sufficient. He certainly Upavadhanai
Bed and the bedstead.
bed and bedstead.
Kim, what is the use?
What is the use?
As Sati, being a present.
Being present.
Anjalo,
Anjalo
the palms of the hand.
the palms of the hands. Kim
What is the use?
what is the use?
Uda,
Uddha
varieties of Anna, eatables,
vegetables.
Patriya,
Patya
Patriya, by the utensils.
by the utensils.
Dik,
Dik
open space.
open space.
Valkala Adao,
Valkalado
skins of trees.
skins of trees. Sati
Being existent.
being existent.
Kim, what is the use of?
What is the use of?
Dukulai,
Dukulai
clothes.
clothes.
Translation and purport by Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
When there is ample earthly flats to lie on, what is the necessity of cots and beds? When one can use his own arms, what is the necessity of a pillow? When one can use the palms of his hand, what is the necessity of varieties of utensils? When there is ample covering or the skin of trees, what is the necessity of clothing? Can you repeat after me? When there is ample earthly flats
When there is ample earthly flats
to lie on, what is the necessity
what is the necessity
of cots and beds?
of cots and beds?
When one can use his own arms,
When one can use his own
what
arms,
is it? What is the necessity of a pillow?
what is the necessity of a pillow?
One can use the palms of his hands.
When one can use the palms of his hands,
What is the necessity
what is the necessity
of varieties of utensils?
of varieties of utensils?
When there is ample covering
When there is ample covering
or the skins of trees,
over the skins of trees,
what is the necessity of clothing?
what is the necessity of clothing?
Therefore, the necessities of life for the protection and comfort of the body must not be unnecessarily increased. Human energy is spoiled in a vain search after such illusory happiness. If one is able to lie down on the floor, then why should one endeavor to get a good bedstead or soft cushion to lie on? If one can rest without any pillow and make use of the soft arms endowed by nature, there is no necessity of searching after a pillow. If we make a study of the general life of the animals, we can see that they have no intelligence for building big houses, furniture, and other household paraphernalia, and yet they maintain a healthy life by lying down on the open land. They do not know how to cook or prepare foodstuff, yet they still live healthy lives more easily than the human being. This does not mean that human civilization should revert to animal life, or that the human being should live naked in the jungles without any culture, education, and a sense of morality. An intelligent human cannot live the life of an animal. Rather, man should try to utilize his intelligence in arts and science, poetry, and philosophy. Here we are. In such a way, he can further the progressive march of human civilization. But here, the idea given by Srila Shukadeva Goswami is that the reserved energy of human life, which is far superior than that of animals, should simply be utilized for sense self-realization. Advancement of human civilization must be towards the goal of establishing our lost relationship with God, which is not possible in any form of life other than the human. One must realize the nullity of the material phenomenon, considering it a passing phantasmagoria, and must endeavor to make a solution to the miseries of life. A self-complacence with a polished type of animal civilization geared to sense gratification is delusion, and such a civilization is not worthy of the name. In pursuit of such false activities, a human being is in the clutches of Maya, or illusion. Great sages and saints in the days of yore were not living in palatial buildings furnished with good furniture and so-called amenities of life. They used to live in huts and groves, sometimes mango groves, and sit on the flat ground, and yet they have left immense treasure of high knowledge with all perfection. Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Sanatana Goswami were high-ranking ministers of state, but they were able to leave behind their immense writings on transcendental knowledge while residing only for one night underneath one tree. They did not live 2 nights under the same tree. In those days, there were many trees. Now it's probably difficult. And what to speak of well-furnished rooms and with modern amenities. And still, they were able to give us most important literatures of self-realization. So-called comforts of life are not actually helpful for progressive civilization. Rather, they are detrimental to such progressive life. In the system of Sanatana Dharma, of 4 divisions of social life and 4 orders of progressive life, you see Prabhupada is equating Sanatana Dharma to Varnashrama Dharma. He does that many places. Um, There are ample opportunities and sufficient directions for a happy termination of the progressive life, and the sincere followers are advised therein to accept a voluntary life of renunciation in order to achieve the desired goal of life. If one is not accustomed to abiding by the life of renunciation and self abnegation from the beginning, one should try to get into the habit at a later stage of life, as recommended by Srila Shukadeva Goswami, and that will help one to achieve the desired success. Means it is never too late to become renounced. Yes, the earlier one can begin, the easier actually it will be. Prabhupada explains how when one is trained in Gurukul, um, because he's been doing that since such early age, it's like natural. Even it's like fun. So this is the verse translation again. When there are ample earthly flats to lie on, what is the necessity of cots and beds? When one can use his own arms, what is the necessity of a pillow? When one can use the palms of his hands, what is the necessity of varieties of utensils? When there is ample covering of the skins of trees, what is the necessity of clothing? Another very strong purport by Srila Prabhupada here. Uh, Modern day people, especially, and it's always been like that, not only today, uh, misuse their God given intelligence for ultimately uh, things which are futile and which will not actually bring them happiness, rather the opposite. We were discussing, I think yesterday or the day before, how the more we endeavor for material pursuits or material happiness, the more we become entangled, isn't it, in the material world? Uh, and therefore, we miss this rare opportunity to put an end to our uh, conditioned life in the material world. And the whole Vedic culture, just reading the purport before the verse that will be in the Bhagavatam class in the temple this morning, um, that actually speaks about Varnashrama and how the whole Vedic culture, specifically Varnashrama system, is arranged in such a way that 3/4 of the population, or 3/4 of our life, or 3 of the 4 ashramas, uh, are strictly prohibiting, uh, not only restricting, but prohibiting sex life. Because sex life is the culmination for the vast majority of people in the material world, for the sense gratification. So that's and also even within householder life, although a concession is there for regulated sense gratification, the um, understanding, the clear understanding, if one is properly trained, is that from the beginning of marriage, prepares himself to take vanaprastha. It's like um, from the beginning of the honeymoon, one tells the partner that, by the way, this is only going to be for a short time. By the age of 50, uh, the honeymoon is over, so-called honeymoon. Uh, so this is a very clear message being given here. That was also mentioned in the previous verse yesterday or the day before, how Vedic culture is built on keeping things simple, minimizing our necessities of life. And the concrete examples are being given here. Prabhupada one time explained, in the West, whenever I would go to some new place to rent in the very early days, when the landlord would come to see me, he was surprised I didn't have any furniture. Where's all your furniture, Swamiji? Prabhupada said, we don't need furniture. You can sit anywhere. And Prabhupada did not even, his first desk was his suitcase. Uh, Actually, it makes a nice desk if you have a medium-sized suitcase. You can have it meets the need of having something to put your book on or whatever you want to be doing. So when therefore, when the aim of life is clearly understood, and when we always keep that in mind, Hare Krishna, they're very attracted to our place. Then then we will know how to properly utilize the gifts of nature, because actually everything in the material world here is provided by Krishna. It is a gift that is meant to be properly utilized for the primary purpose of pleasing Krishna. Ultimately, we were reading that verse. Samsiddhi Haritoshanam. The whole purpose of Varnashrama is also that purpose, to perform all activities, take up all responsibilities within the different varnas and ashramas for the primary purpose of pleasing Krishna, satisfying Krishna. And that is called Daiva Varnashrama. So, a nice reminder this morning again. And it's not only that there is one ashram, Vedic culture actually has nicely arranged that from, what is it? From cradle to
Death.
Cradle to death. No, there's an expression. Cradle to something. No, I got it. From cradle to grave. From cradle to grave means from birth to death. In between is ashram, 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 ashram. Brahmachari ashram, Vyasta ashram, Vanaprastha ashram, Sannyas ashram. So ashram means focus is on self-realization, spiritual. Ashram means focus on the primary goal and aim of life. So even great kings like Bharat Maharaj, because they had this very a clear understanding, being directed, being guided by Krishna conscious fathers. Lord Rishabhadev nicely instructed all of his sons. That was and still is actually the primary a duty and responsibility of parents to train their dependents so that as early as possible, viticulture, early retirement is recommended. And in modern day society, because people are generally less understanding or not at all in Krishna consciousness, so they hold on to their posts until they can, until they can't function anymore. People hold on. In the light of the Bhagavat, who has read the light of the Bhagavat? Who knows? You've read, huh? Who has? Uh, who doesn't know about the light of the Bhagavat? Light of the Bhagavat is a very important book. Um, so in that, it's relatively short, but very nicely presented. So in one place, Prabhupada mentions how in the Vedic culture, leaders, politicians, he speaks about specifically, age of 50, finished. They should give up their responsibilities and voluntarily retire and let the younger generation. Many people, they start their career, politicians.
But then various examples are Bhishma Dev and Drona.
Yes, there was necessity for Bhishma Dev to be there.
Many, even Vidura, Drona were all. Or maybe 50 years in Kali Yuga, I don't know.
Well, in previous ages, the atmosphere and the whole situation was more conducive. But the same principle is there, that as early as possible one should retire from the political intrigues, isn't it? Which are consuming so much of our time. And so this message here, how we should properly utilize our time, and which is only possible when we are less entangled with material things, material pursuits, etc. We will close here now. Jai Grantaraj Bhagavatam Ki.
Jai.